Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man. We're looking at a Project RUNWAY, limited edition, CE5500PRW, Project RUNWAY. And it came in with some issues, and I made this video to show you and my customer what was going on, because it's, it's one thing to say this and that, but if you can show it, it's a lot easier. That's why we do this channel, to help people out. And if it's happening to this machine, it'll happen to yours if you have one of these or something similar to it. So we made this little video here. Let's put this over here and get this little thing going here so you can see just what we're talking about. And that'll give us a chance for our compressor to kick off maybe in the interim so we can actually hear what the heck we're talking about. There we go. We got the sound. Let's go. I want to tell my customer that there was lint and fuzz and little pieces of fabric back between the feed dogs. We can discuss it in the abstract, or I make these videos to show them exactly what we're talking about. See, that gets packed in there, and it gets really thick. All the different colors of all the different projects, and it'll pack in there like felt. It'll absolutely get in there, and then your feeders, instead of feeding the fabric, they get pushed down. They'll just keep getting pushed down and down and down, and you have to come back here, of course, and reset the height on the feeders. But cleaning these out is critical, and keeping them clean is critical. Take the two screws off the needle plate, get your can of compressed air, don't tilt the can and blast your plastic and melt it. And take that out, because see what'll happen is this right here will work on the bottom of the presser foot. This in here with this buildup, you see how that's just absolutely smashed flat and shiny there? That's what'll happen underneath here, right along here. So we're starting to wear that, and all that's doing is increasing the drag. The feeders aren't doing their job, your machine's laboring, and it's just not good. You got to keep this cleaned up. Of course, this other stuff, we're going to get that too. That's when you sew, you get this stuff. But I always tell folks, what you need to do is increase your frequency of service from not so often to more often. Because you get back in here and you get stuff like this. This is going to mess with your stitch, your feeding. It's going to cause all kinds of problems. So what you have to do is just clean that out. Get your can of compressed air and blast it. See what will happen to the bottom of your feed, your presser foot. Bottom of your presser foot, you start getting grooves in it. And those grooves, you can actually hang your nail on those. I'm gonna put another foot on. I don't have the replacement one because they're on back order. And another note to self, folks: if you have anything on this machine, this brother Project RUNWAY, anything on it that wears like this, you need to have an extra. Because when the day comes and they say it's no longer available, it'll be on my little, my parts, or it'll say NLA, no longer available. That's the last thing you want to see, because then you can't get another one. And you'll be completely stuck with having to polish them off. And if it's not too deep, you can get it smooth again. You can see it's down to the base metals, because the doggone, let me turn this phone off here before it rings. You can polish it down and get it working again, but it's good to have an extra one of these. Copper's the base metal. You get under that. The chrome on, they put it on so thin it's almost like a spray painted on. It's so light. Back in the day, these parts were heavily chrome. They were all like 55 Buick bumpers. It was awesome. Now they skimp. So this right here will actually eat up the bottom of your presser foot. Keep an extra one. You're gonna need it. And then we come back to the culprit that's almost every single time. The bobbin case. You see where it spun out? And it's got struck. Let's see, got my pointer going there maybe. Needle hit it there. I can fix that. Needle took a chunk out of it right there. Get that to focus on that big old gouge. Maybe it'll focus on it. Right there's a big chunk out of it. And go around the whole sides of it. Let's put this in here. Get the machine out of it so you can see what we're doing. reconstruct that. That can be polished out. That's not a problem. Right there. Right here. Just back a little bit. That chunk there will come out. I can take care of that, because on the bottom you just want it to be smooth. On the bottom where it's poked through, you smooth that out. I have a video showing how to do that. I'll clean this up with crocus cloth. Around here on the side, there's a place there that got nailed. I'll polish all those out, because the thread will hang on that. Spin this thing out. Always keep an extra bobbin case. These are plastic. Always have an extra, because if it hits over here on the edge, I have a video showing you what's going on. When one hits on the edge over here, it can't be fixed. Sometimes you can get it going, but always have an extra one of these. Have an extra presser foot on the bottom. You want to always have extra stuff if you can. Now, she was having a problem too with her presser foot falling off. The daggone thing was just falling off. And here's the original set screw that holds it on. Original set screw. And the thing just kept falling off because it wasn't gripping, holding it in place. It's a tiny little screw. I'm going to replace it with this boy right here. Now, look how much more contact you have to hold this thing in place. That's going to hold it in place, and you can put a screwdriver in the slot, tighten it down. This other one, you can see it was just barely holding it. Barely making contact. It kept just falling off, so I was driving it crazy. So we're going to get it going. It'll get back together. It'll be showing as good as new, and we'll clean it out, blow it out, set the feeder height up. And we got the bottom of this guy polished out, so it won't be dragging on that. And then we'll fix this up so it won't be a problem, and put the new screw on so it won't be a problem. So we're going to remedy everything. It's going to be good as new, but that's the regular stuff that happens. You can expect it to happen on these machines. It's not outside the box. It happens all the time. You expect it almost every single time. Okay, so that's the worst of it. You know, all these machines, all these new machines with all their plastic drop-in bobbins, they're all going to be this way. The feeders are going to be adjusted in the back there, down underneath. I have videos showing you how to do that. Reconditioning that bobbin case is a must. I have a video how to do that. And if you're going to get the backup parts, when you go order them, like the bobbin case, you would put brother, you know, the CE, and put bobbin case for sale. So it'll pop up. And a set screw on the side, presser foot, set screw, brother. You don't put the model number, it'll just give you the wrong one again. And they'll all pop up, all the different ones. Get the big one, make sure it's got the right size threads. But, and same for any part that you order, make sure it says for sale after you put it in there. Needle plate, blah, 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 for sale. So you don't get the history of needle plates, you know, starting in the Middle Ages. So this machine's gonna be fine. This customer's gonna use it until she can find something better. She and I are gonna discuss that. Maybe a Singer 401, 404, 403, 500A, you know, maybe a 158 Kenmore, but there's so many good machines out there that you can buy used, and they were made old school. You know, there's no plastic in them, but we'll discuss that. But this will get her going until she can do that. A couple weeks, we're gonna get back together and see if we can find a nice machine for her. But little brother, Project Runway, she's given this thing a real hard workout, and everything that's happened to it, I'm not surprised, because that's what'll happen. She's running a size 18 needle in there, which that's why you're getting that thumping sound, that needle pounding on fabric there. But it'll get the job done with her skills assisting it. It won't do much by itself. It'll be an 80-20 thing, 80% her skills, 20% the machine. But we'll get her a better machine, and it'll jump more to like 80-20 the other way, and she can just guide, and the machine will do all the heavy work. But you'll have to baby this thing and make sure that it doesn't have a mishap. So we'll get it back to her. She'll be glad to have it going, and it'll be good as new for a while. And all these machines are destined to end up in the landfill. That's what they're made to be, all plastic. There's nothing really in there to really endear yourself to them. You know, I'm not a big fan of these lightweight plastic machines, but
this one's going to be as good as new, and maybe she can use it in the interim to gap between having this and the next one, and I'll try to get her going in that direction. All right? Thanks.